we finally get to work on the Prelude again. So on the last video, I spent some time making a mount for this water to air intercooler. After talking with the tuner and stuff like that and showing him pictures of what we were doing and all the other things, he was like, no. I was like, well, what'd I do? And so he made something very smart. He said something very smart to me and didn't dawn on me until he said it. And I was like, you're 100% right. So this is the inlet or outlet, and this is the inlet or outlet. And so with it like this, we can really only fill up at best 2/3 of the tank. So we want to fill up the entire tank. And he said, if we weren't going for everything to work 100% properly or whatever, we're just going for looks, this would be fine. Talk to the owner of the car, and no, we care about performance. So I'm gonna remake this. Also, there's a few things too. The radiator I was starting to get fitted in here, and we decided we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna move the radiator further out, the condenser further out. I'm gonna put the crash bar up here so that I can get like a reference of how far out everything can be. And then we're going to do hood pins on it. That way we can mount it strong, since this will be gone. And then this is just going to be flimsy. So I don't want it to be flimsy. We want the hood to stay closed. Right now, I'm just going to get started on that. A lot of stuff has changed for how we're going to do this build, but we're just gonna cross those bridges as we come. So I'm gonna take that off and then rework whatever we have to rework right now. Also, the unsung hero of our channel is Steve. I know we've mentioned him a lot to you guys. You guys might forget about him, whatever. You need to thank him. And here's one thing. He found some AI thing, right? Because it's hot, we have fans, we have the swamp cooler and stuff. And what you're hearing right now is with his thing that he found. This is without the AI. So it's up to you if you want to keep Steve around. You guys should help out with that. He likes money. Anyways, we'll go back to the Prelude. Come on. We gotta order all this stuff. Okay. I think we're gonna keep this because that holds it nicely, and we just have to change the bracket that bolts to the car. We'll see if I can do it, but I would actually like to bolt it to the transmission. I just have to figure out where it might be sitting, and then cut this out, put the radiator in, and figure out where that might be sitting, and then do some hokey pokey and figure it out. So this is actually not the size that I need for this, because this is 3-inch. Yeah, this is 2.75 for some old project we did. So I think I can cut that off, turn it, because if this turned right off of it like that, then it would clear the front core support. And then as it turned, I would then put the coupler on, and I'm gonna get a 90 off of this one. It's actually going to be a metal 90 that I'm gonna weld onto it. And then we're gonna do the coupler from there, so the intercooler piping would actually only be, I don't know, like maybe a foot, because this would be kind of like that. And then this one will be another heavy 90-degree turn going down to the throttle body. We might trim this a little bit, but we'll just put the coupler on or really close to the intercooler. Well, this one we're going to chop away and get it turned away before we put the actual coupler on. But the next thing is how to affix this to the transmission. So the brackets for the intercooler, I have it resting on a little block right now. but this is pretty much what I've rested on. It's gonna bolt to the bracket down here. This is gonna go all the way across and then go to the bottom of the old bracket that I made. And then there's a little bracket that goes from the mount to the old bracket as well, so that I can have that all together. That should be decently strong enough to hold this for whatever we're doing. I don't have aluminum right now. The radiator, on the other hand, I cut out the T-bar, which was this thing. Well, more like drilled out the spot welds. And then I'm marking the holes that I need to drill for the radiator. And I went and grabbed some rib nuts. That way we can just put the rib nuts in here. There's just a bolt that holds it on, and then we're done. Well, we got the radiator mounted, and I did check it. With the stock bumper, this radiator clears. We won't have clearance with everything on the stock bumper for the AC condenser, but we're not going to keep everything on the stock bumper because I'm going to actually make my own bar that goes across the front of it that the bumper will mount to. Essentially, now that that's mounted, I have everything where I want with it. We have a lot more room because we put it further back. These I'm going to cut out once the engine is out, just because it'll be easier to drill the spot welds once the engine's out. And at this point, they're not in the way, so I'm not gonna mess with them, but they're the old radiator mounts. I'm still in the process of making the bracket for it. However, I ran out of argon gas and I ran out of aluminum plate. So I'm gonna get those things this coming week. We're gonna change it a little bit. We did get these at first, but talking with the owner, we're going to change to AN lines. So we're gonna get -16 AN lines for this. I ordered a swirl pot, which, because the radiator is tucked and way down here, the swirl pot actually is a little cylinder that goes wherever you want it essentially, but we're gonna put it off of this one. It'll go up here. The radiator cap will be on it, so that will be where you fill everything from. And then that's going to have the AN line fitting coming off of it. And we're gonna have the hose going down to the upper hose. And we're going to actually cut a lot of this off. So this is not how it's going to look when it's done. We're going to get rid of that, we're going to get rid of that, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this nub here where the bolt hole would be. We're going to get rid of that. I'm actually going to move the fan switch also. And then I'm going to cut this off and we're going to wrap it around, and it'll come out this way with an AN fitting on it so that we can have the AN line going from the lower hose all the way down. And so doing that is just going to help condense everything, and plus it's going to draw your attention because we're also doing PTFE, was it AN hose and stuff like that, which the fittings look different. The hose is a much stronger hose for the cooling system and everything. I ordered the stuff that we need to put the intercooler piping together. So the cast iron or the cast aluminum elbow that's going to come off the turbo, we're actually gonna be cutting this piece off. So we're gonna weld on a aluminum elbow there. And then I got the donut that I was talking about that we're gonna make the bends off of the intercooler. And then I got the couplers that we were talking about, which I'm really excited for those. They're quarter turn. LPS Fab is who makes them. He's actually a friend of mine. He makes some really good stuff. I would go check him out if you're doing any kind of turbo stuff. We're gonna have the motor mount shipped here, but that's pretty much where we're at. I do have everything ordered for all the AN fittings, the AC condenser, the intercooler piping stuff. That way we can get this portion of it done and then move on to the next portion of this build, which, like I said, you're gonna have to wait for that video.